Welcome to the world where full throttle isn't a choice. It's a must. Here, we talk MotoGP and World SBK, two of the fiercest, fastest, and most brutal racing series on the planet, packed with crashes, speed, and untold stories behind the helmet. You're not just watching, you're diving deep into the heat of the paddock and the unforgiving track. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and don't go anywhere, because the next drama could hit faster than the first corner. The crash and Marini's injuries. Luca Marini suffers serious injuries in heavy Suzuka crash, Honda's MotoGP star in hospital. The MotoGP paddock was shaken this week as Honda factory rider Luca Marini suffered multiple serious injuries in a crash during a private test at Japan's Suzuka circuit on May 28, 2025. Marini had traveled to Japan shortly after the British Grand Prix to test the Honda CBR 1000 RRSP in preparation for the Suzuka 8 Hours endurance race, as part of his campaign to secure a spot in Honda's factory squad for the event. While the first day of testing went smoothly, disaster struck on Wednesday when Marini crashed heavily during the second day of the program. Honda released a brief but alarming statement following the incident. On Wednesday, May 28th, Luca Marini suffered a heavy fall during Suzuka 8-hour testing and will remain in Japan for observation and recovery. The injuries were more than just typical racing bruises. Honda confirmed that Marini sustained a dislocated left hip, ligament damage in his left knee, fractures to his sternum and left collarbone, and a right-side pneumothorax, collapsed lung. After completing a successful first day, the Italian rider began the second day of testing but suffered a major crash, Honda said. He was transferred to a local hospital and stabilized. Marini will remain under observation in Japan until he is deemed fit to travel. Career implications and Honda's next step. This incident could not have come at a more critical time for Marini. Despite struggling to consistently break into the top 10, he is currently Honda's second-best rider in the championship standings, sitting 13th overall with 38 points from the first 7 rounds. His best result so far this season is an 8th-place finish. However, the timing is crucial beyond points. Marini's contract with Honda is set to expire at the end of the 2025 season, and negotiations had reportedly begun during the recent British Grand Prix. The severity of this injury could severely impact those talks. This crash may now threaten not only his short-term racing future, but also his long-term standing in the MotoGP paddock. Returning from such a list of injuries will take time, and with Honda under increasing pressure to deliver results, questions are already being raised about what happens next. With the Aragon Grand Prix just around the corner, it is virtually certain that Marini will be absent. Honda now faces a decision. Who will step in to replace him? There are 2 likely candidates: Takaki Nakagami, Honda's longtime test rider, or potentially Alex Espargaro, whose name has recently surfaced as a possible wildcard or substitute. Honda concluded their statement by saying, Honda HRC and the Honda HRC Castrol team will fully support Marini in his recovery. But beyond this official support, the situation leaves Honda with more questions than answers. Was this test necessary amidst a tight MotoGP schedule? Is Honda asking too much from a rider still struggling to adapt to the RC213V? One thing is certain, Luca Marini is now in a race of a different kind. A race to recover, a race to retain his seat, and perhaps a race to save his career.